After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 382. Today is Friday, December 13th, 2019, as we are recording. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
I'm Ty, also known as Franciscan Gypsy. Just want to give forewarning, if we get a phone call in the middle of this from my neurosurgeon, I need to pause this and take it.
Okay. We want to welcome all new and returning viewers. If you're new, we're glad to see you here. If you are returning, we're always glad to see you back. And if you are new or returning, either way, we hope you will join officially on the YouTube channel. And maybe even over at the PHN page, which is phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's where all the alongs and the giveaways and things like that happen. And it doesn't cost anything. You just have to join up, and it's a lot of fun. So we hope to see you there. Excuse me. I have a little bit of a cold here or something. Allergies.
Give it a taste.
Okay. All right. Going right into the charities and things like that. Just want to remind everybody about Evans Home. Our contact person there is Knitter's Magic, Laura, Gracie's mom, 62. She's the proprietor of Knitter's Magic in Winchester, Virginia. Mm-hmm. Great shop over there, and we give the stuff that we take to Evans Home over to her, because she's our contact person for that. We have the Front Royal Pregnancy Center, and that's baby through toddler items. Evans Home takes just about everything.
Yeah.
Front Royal Pregnancy Center is baby through toddlers, bibs and hats and mittens and booties and all that kind of stuff, baby blankets, little sweaters, whatever. Maybe even some toys here and there, as long as they don't have the eyes that fall out. Excuse me. And we have Comforting Crafts, who is Brittany B. Wing, and that's on Facebook or on Ravelry, wherever you want to contact her for that kind of thing. And she says that right now what she needs is lots of men's things, mostly hats. They're trying toys this time around, sewn, knit, or crocheted, mittens of all sizes, any size hat, scarves, or mittens. So a lot of stuff. And I know she used to collect dishcloths. She didn't mention that, so if you want to do something like that, you should probably check with her first.
Yeah, she might. Who knows? She might have an overabundance of dishcloths right now, because she's doing so much for that.
Right. And then the other one that we like to support is the Amelia Project, and that's VT Kimmy Kim. That's Kim, and she can be reached on Ravelry or on our PHN group, and I think on Instagram. And you can find out, what she needs over there. I know she takes NICU hats. I'm under the impression she also takes other things, scarves, hats, mittens, things like that. So just contact her if you want to, give her something to give to the people who need over there. Okay. Ready, Set, Go is starting in January 1st, and it goes through March 31st, and we have a co-host for that, but I'm not going to mention just yet. I need to touch base with that person and, those people. And it's exciting. They're awesome, and we love them, and they will impact our featured patterns. So
yes.
They're amazing. So stay tuned for that. We're excited to have them with us. And then the charity along, which is also coming up, that's January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020. And the double entry for that will be for baby charity items. And of course, we'll go through the list of featured patterns, featured yarns when we get to that point. And that's all year long. And we'll accept anything that's charity oriented, but baby stuff is the double chances for the FO, regardless of what it is, of what the yarn is or whatever. I'm sorry, my voice is a little off. Excuse me. We have a couple more weeks until the end of the year. Boy, that's weird. So in the Crocheting Hoovian podcast group, that's Laura Concert. She's amazing, and she's very sweet to make sure that we can get involved, whether or not we're on Ravelry, so that's good. You can get involved with her alongs on Facebook and via an email address and through our group and on Ravelry. So, not through our group, our people can do it through Ravelry or through Facebook or her email link. She just doesn't want us to miss out if we're not on Ravelry, which I thought was very nice. She opens it up to everybody, and she's doing the creature feature Cal Cal Lao with Dog for a Woman Who is Deborah of the Diary of a Physicist Farm Gal, and they are in the last couple of weeks, so you can still get some things in for that. I think it's mythical creatures. It's a amigurumi along. Comforting Crafts group, that's being, as I said before, and that's Brittany, and she's got going, what are you reading in 2019? 19 hats in 2019, 52 dishcloths in 2019, and color work. And that's all in her Ravelry group. I do not think it is in her Facebook group, just in her Ravelry group. But you can check her Facebook group because I might be wrong. Okay, Bee's Knees group is Studio Von Design, and that's Vonnie, and she's just doing 19 in 2019. Okay, so that's a lot of fun. Vonnie's amazing, and I would love to know how she's doing on her Master Knitters course.
I'm sure she's done with it by now.
I don't know. It's a pretty long thing, so I'll have to try to touch base with her if I can find her email. So I'm sure I have it somewhere. So we hope she's doing well with that. Current, we have the PHNT and Tails year-long Cal Cal Lao, and that's been going on since this January. So we only have a couple weeks to go with this. And this is, excuse me. Okay, it started, as I said, January 1st, runs through December 31st. It must be knit, loom knit, or crochet, the projects to count. Previous whips are allowed, but they must be worked on during the along and must reflect the theme, which is tea and or tails. Chatter and pictures are all in the same thread. Projects must be tied in some way, shape, or form to tea and or tails, and that means fiction tales, okay? Books, chapter books, novelizations, graphic novels, children's books that have beginning, middle, and end type thing. So that's all that. And if you have any doubt, you can ask somebody, one of the moderators or us, or you can check Goodreads or Amazon. They will have it labeled, okay? And usually we don't have too much trouble. Sometimes our historical fiction blurs the line a little bit, so that's the ones we are usually concerned about. All right, the featured patterns, Franciscan Gypsy's designs, and my shawl pattern, and Cappy's pattern, because she's our lovely co-host, and she her shawl pattern is a featured pattern. She has the shawl kits. I'm assuming they're still available. We have a wonderful coupon code for that, very generous, in her Cappy thread, as well as a coupon code for her shop in her Cappy thread. I wonder how it's going to be affected now that her husband and she and her husband are doing the Yarn and Us. So if you're looking for the Yarn and I, in the near future, if it hasn't already done it, it's going to be the Yarn and Us. So, because she and her husband are doing it together, which is really exciting. But in any event, we do have a coupon code for the shop and for her lovely shawl pattern that she developed for this. And that is a featured pattern as well. Joanna Johnson patterns, Mom Cook patterns, Crocheting Hoovian's patterns that are, especially her Hufflepuff, if it's related to tea and or tails, and Vonnie's patterns, as long as they can be related to tea and or tails, those are featured patterns. My yarn and Cappy's yarn, if it's related to tea and or tails, can also be 2 chances at a prize to the finished object. And if you have a featured pattern with a featured yarn, then you get 3 chances at a prize for the finished object. And that, of course, you have to do all your postings on your own. Okay, tell us why, what the yarn is, what the pattern is, etc. Okay, and this time I do want to say that the prizes could potentially be drawn a little late because of Talia's surgery, so it might not be pulled till after New Year, but we'll do the best we can, okay? Please bear with us. I know you guys are great. Excuse me. The 4th quarter prize is a Plum Deluxe purple package for one winner, and a Mom Cook pattern for another lucky winner, okay? And she does have one knitted pattern, and then she has several loom knit, which are very nice. The end of the year mega prize, I have no idea what's all in there. It's stuffed. So it's a pretty cool prize. Alright, so that takes us into the toy along, which we are currently also working on. That has another 2 weeks or so as well. And the rules are basically the same as for any of our alongs, only it has to be a toy. It has to be knit, crocheted, or loom knit. Don't care what, if it's a very small item, we do ask that you do 2 of them. But other than that, and you guys have been great. I mean, I can't count a number of people who have said, you know what, this is small, I got to put another one in. So we really appreciate that. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, you guys are.
Again, the featured yarn, my yarn, also Lollipop Girl yarns, that's Laura Concert. Taya's toys are featured, as are Bakery Bear toys, featured patterns. If you have a featured pattern with a featured yarn, as always, 3 chances at a prize. You guys handle the multiple postings, okay? Okay, I'm not going to go through the rest of it because you already know the rest of it. I said that I wouldn't go through the rules and duplicate myself. I'm not going to chew my cabbage twice. Okay, wonder if Patty will get that. It's an Arkansas saying. She's not in Arkansas, but I bet she'd get it. Okay, alright, so we're moving into rough drafts unless you want to say something.
No.
No? Okay, how many do you have?
Hold on.
I know I counted this before, but
4.
okay, I have 7, I think. Let's see. No, it's not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay. You're not going to see a lot of progress on some of these because I just did a row or
Oh, no, I'll go grab it back afterwards.
a row or around on on the thing, so I had some work on it. The first one I'm going to do is in my Silver Shed USA large Eeyore bag. There's Eeyore right there. David said, Mom, it's not Eeyore. I said, yes, it is. Is my that's distracting me.
I know, sorry.
School Marm Shawl project from the Easy A pattern by Laura Smoot. And I don't know how much I did on this. I don't really remember working on this. I assume I did. Oh yeah, I did. Toward the beginning of the week, I think. So it's growing.
Very cool.
I like the color. It's
Yeah, I
very
don't remember
pretty.
the lace being there.
Yeah, it was there.
Was it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was there. I think I might have done a row or 2 of just, straight whatever. Because it's a paid for pattern, I don't want to go into what it is. But,
It's kind of obvious what it is. So.
well, I don't have to say it, though. Okay. Oh, I had another one. I was thinking, that doesn't work right. This is it. So, the yarn is Miss Babs Yazawada Skein in the Gotta Love Me colorway. As I said, the bag is Silver Shed USA. That's Anne Brody. And the pattern is by Laura Smoot, the Easy A pattern. Okay, so that's that one. This is a new project in my Knit Is My Bag Angel bag. I started this December 8th. And it's called the Moon Garden Shawl project from the Mrs. Howell and the Moon Garden Shawl pattern by Carolyn McPherson. And I got it off of Lovecrafts. This is a mosaic shawl, a mosaic stole actually. I don't have a really good picture of it. Let's see. I mentioned this pattern before when I picked it up. I think it came up for free, and she charts it 2 different ways. Well, she charts it one way and then expands the chart, and then she writes it out, which is really neat. And she mentions the doodle mosaic chart several times, whatever that is. I've heard of the doodle, but I don't know what it is exactly. So I haven't made a lot of progress on this. I think a couple, 3 or 4 rows maybe.
Oh yeah, that's not very far. That should be the biggest thing you've made. For are you making for mosaic? Is it
Yeah,
seamed?
I think so. No, it's a stole. So
Oh,
got-
it's a stole, not a cowl. I don't know why
Yeah.
I thought cowl when you said stole.
So I'm using Miss Babs Yowza in the Franklin and Rainforest colorways and Mad Tosh. I don't know what the name is because Ty gave me this. And was
It,
part of
it
a
doesn't
set.
really. It's a one of a kind.
Yeah, it's one of a kind, but there are 4 of them that are very much alike. And
I think they're all the same dipod.
Yeah, I got 3 of them, but
Because it was a mystery thing for Mad Tosh.
and the other one is this color.
I
So
think that was about 3 years ago or whatever.
I think this is the Franklin. This is the Rainforest. I think, and then the Mad Tosh, whatever that is. I'm looking forward to this. I wanted a mosaic where I could see how the repeats work in a bigger pattern, and it has a chart, but it also has it written out, so I can see how the chart works with the written out, because it was confusing me. I actually, stopped the project, stopped working on it because I couldn't figure out what to do with the chart. And now Craftsy Blueprint is actually, I picked up another Mosaic Colorwork thing for free with points. So I have 2 of them now, and I can, learn some stuff hopefully from that as well.
That'll be good.
Your turn.
Okay, so let me do the next stitch then. Okay. So this one didn't get a whole lot of work on it, but in my Silver Shed USA, I guess you would say knitting bag, because it has a bunch of things about knitting and yarn and all that. This is my, hold on, open my Yorkshire Tam and the pattern's by Linda Moss, and it's just a bunch of fingering weight yarns I happen to have on stash.
That's pretty.
So I think I probably was halfway through this gray and white section.
That's the first time you worked on it in a while, isn't it?
Oh, very long time.
Yeah. It's cute.
Because I was doing this, I want to say around the time the ceiling fell in was around the time I last worked on this.
About 9 months ago.
So
Very nice. I like that. Did you get that at the Fiber Festival?
no, Mom, this is the Linda Moss. I picked up a bunch. She did the Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
Oh, yeah, I know who she is.
She didn't have things at the Fiber Festival. She's a British lady.
Yeah.
Um,
It's really sweet.
no, before I left Ravelry, I grabbed a bunch of all of her patterns. Because I wanted them.
She might be on Lovecraft.
She's not.
Oh, she's not?
She doesn't have easy access to technology and isn't very, she lives way out in the boonies is what I gather.
Yeah. I remember you saying that.
So, but I have all of her patterns that up to date that I've left Ravelry, so. Really nice designer. I can see her being up and coming, like right now she's kind of, I don't feel like a lot of people know about her. I think it's a shame because she's
very talented.
a good eye.
Yeah, she's very talented. Okay.
So,
let's see here. Funny.
Hang on. Urgh.
Is that the technical term? Erg.
There we go.
Okay, let's see here.
My yarn got stuck in my zipper.
That's always a pain. Okay,
Usually I'm able to prevent that, but I wasn't as careful this time.
in my Knitting Turtles bag by Silver Shed USA, Davina's artwork. This one right here. Okay, this is my Belle the Baby Turtle project from the Amigurumi Turtle pattern by Sol Maldonado. And what's stopping me on this is I have to put the fiber fill in, and I don't feel like it. So, I did a little bit. Beginning on the top and the bottom. And when I first brought it out again, because I haven't worked in a while, actually this isn't the one that did that for me. Another one did. But anyway, this threw me because this is the head. And I'm like, it doesn't look like a head of any other turtle I've made. So it confused me at first. I thought it was a flipper, but it's a head. So I've did a little work on this. It's a fun little crochet, and it really shouldn't be taking me as long as it is. I just haven't been able to focus really a lot on anything. So I just did a little bit and said, okay, that's done. Move on to my next thing. Not that I don't like it, it's fun. And I think I could easily have done that maybe in a couple hours.
Right.
maybe slightly more. Oh wait, I think. Let's just go to.
I don't know what this is.
This is my shawl.
Because you ask, like, what does this go to? And I do not have the ability to turn my neck. So it's like,
I wasn't really asking a question.
Mhm.
It was more of a rhetorical question. Okay. All right, there we go. Now, that's okay. One more. This one is in my blue Universal bag, canvas bag. This is a nice bag. I got this from Universal, and actually, it really is a very strong
You use
bag.
it a lot.
Yeah, it's a very. I usually stuff a whole bunch of projects in here when I go to doctor's appointments and things, on top of the project that's in here. And this is my Ninja Turtle baby blanket project from the Ninja Turtle baby blanket pattern by Lisa Vanilla. And I'm just using Brava Sport with
That
this.
can't actually be her last name.
I don't know. Kind of cool if it was.
Yeah.
So, I only did about a row and a half, maybe 2 on this. I'm in the middle of a row. It's right here. So, I got maybe another couple rows before I do Ralph, which would be red for those of you who aren't familiar with the turtles. There's purple, red, blue, and green. No, purple, blue, red, purple, and orange, which is in order Leo, Raph, Donnie, and Mikey. And so I'm getting ready to do Raph, who's the second one. And
There it is.
what?
I lost the stitch marker.
Oh, so it's coming along. This one's not this is just kind of probably the ones I'll bring with me because I can just sit down and not really worry about it too much as long as the light's good.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we'll have I'll have a fair amount of work when we come up. I don't know if Talia will, but when we come up and see you next. So this is a lot of fun. I don't know if it was a free pattern. I think I actually bought it, but it's a very nice pattern. I'm enjoying it on Love Crafts.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn. Let me go to the stitch marker. Okay, so this one didn't get a ton of work on it either. This is in my Knitter's Magic brown kitties on the inside bag. This pattern is the Burrow Wrap by K.F. Jones, and I have I have the Dr. Seuss Ploverbird bag inside that just to keep the 2 yarns I'm working with separate from all the other fingering weight yarns, because it calls for a fingering weight yarn and a mohair lace to be held together. I chose this to hold 2 fingering weight.
This looks pretty.
So, finished with color 1, head into color 2.
It's pretty. It looks better on the camera than it does when I'm looking at the back.
Yeah. No, it's not I think in the overall thing it'll
it'd
look
be
very nice.
pretty, yeah. Mhm.
But it's one of those things that I don't necessarily care for the red and orangey goldy color together. The way it's modeling coming together. It's just not quite as pretty as the one below it.
The way it's playing up, yeah.
But I think it'll look very nice all together. And it's a fun, simple knit. A nice recovery knit. It'll be staying at home, and I'll knit on it when I come home.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just too big of a bag and too big of a project to take with me.
Okay. How many do you have left?
2.
2. Then I have 3, so, okay. Alright. My next one is in my Me, My Dog, and Some Yarn sock size bag. A pretty pink flower bag. And this is my watercolor cowl from the Cerebelle scarf pattern. Yes, Patty, it's another Cerebelle. I was talking to her yesterday and we were talking about our favorite patterns. So, it has grown a little bit. This is the one where if I sit there and I don't really have to pay attention, I just do this. Because I've got the routine down.
You know, I didn't care for that yarn. I thought at first it really ruined the pattern, but I kind of like how it works out. It makes me think of like you said, a painting or something.
Monet or something like that. That's because I didn't know what I was going to do.
I almost feel like this looks like sunflowers and sky and grass.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know what I was going to do with this yarn, and I think I might do something with another yarn that I don't know what I'm going to do with it, and see if it breaks up the same kind of thing, because it's just not my colors.
Mm-hmm. But it's turning out really pretty.
It's turning out really pretty, and I think this is Miss Babs in one of the Maryland sheep and wool colorway.
Yeah, it was. It is.
I can't see here. I thought I had it written down.
Might help if you're under the right project.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, Inner Harbor View 2, Maryland Sheep and Wool 2017 colorway. That's the last time we went to Maryland Sheep and Wool, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
I think so. So, yeah. It's pretty. I'm liking the way it turned out. I don't normally... It looked really pretty in the skein, but even when I bought it, I wasn't sure. I was still in the mode of, it's a Maryland Sheep and Wool colorway, I want to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that anymore.
You also have Vincent's.
No, I mean anything. Like,
yeah.
They had a Shenandoah colorway at last year's, but not Miss Babs, but I think Dragonfly or somebody had it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that particular color. Because there are other people who do that.
Yeah.
And I just got to the point where if I'm not going to use it, or I don't think I really actually am in love with it, I'm not going to pick it up.
Right.
So, okay.
So you get one more done.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. Just to pull this out here. Okay. In my Kikibu Holiday Owls bag is my Tangerine Preemie hat. Yeah, it's still on the go here. I did a little bit on this. I've gotten to the point where I'm actually I'll sit there and I'll watch a movie or football with Mike and I'll fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but here's this, and it's moving along. It's going to be a little teeny tiny hat. Makes me happy. It's just Knit Picks Brava Worsted. I think it's just the orange colorway. I don't have the ball band. I just know it's Knit Picks Brava. Okay.
So, my next one is mostly what I've been working on nonstop, because I actually have a chance to finish this for the hospital. So, this is the Dobbinwood by K.F. Jones, and I call it my TARDIS Traveler Wrap, and it's in my Ploverbird. I'm actually using that.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Don't take away my neck support.
You're smushing my owl.
I didn't bring neck support. He's neck support.
Yeah, I was
smushing him.
You're smushing him.
And it's bigger on the inside.
You should have thought of that instead of smushing my animals.
He was happy to be of service.
No, he's not happy. He's smushed.
Yes, he is.
He's smushed.
So this is Miss Babs. Yeah, I was in the colorway Zing, Obsidian, and then it's a bear yarn. So, I mean, obviously all the ends aren't woven in. Here's the back.
Isn't it pretty?
And then it sort of will... Hold on, let me make sure I'm not going to lose my needles. There you go.
Very nice.
Okay, so...
Get the general idea.
Yes, you do, because it's going to look more like this farther down. I'm in the middle of this black section here. So it's going to be very nice. I want this for the hospital, and I didn't think I'd be able to finish it until I finished the left front. It's fine. Much earlier than I thought I would. And then I was like, oh, I have a prayer of finishing this. Because what I like about it is it doesn't, it's not going to mess with any IVs. Mm-hmm. It's just like a much bigger shawl. And if I get chilly...
It's a cross between a shawl and a poncho almost.
Yeah. You can just do this. So I really wanted this to be done for the hospital. And it's probably going to be. I'm very close to finishing it. I'll probably finish it today.
Very nice.
And I already have yarn picked out for a new one. In more of my normal colors, reds and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's a good stash buster.
And that's KF Jones.
Yep.
So, you can find her on Lovecraft and you can find her on Ravelry. So.
If you go, to the Baker Bears website, you can see all the places where you can find her patterns. Mm-hmm. Because she has Etsy, Lovecraft, and Ravelry. Mm-hmm. So.
She's pretty amazing, so.
Yes, she is.
Okay, my next one is my Bonnie Blue Bunny project from the Amigurumi Animal Toys for Baby pattern.
Actually, before we go into this, I just want to mention for Kay's thing, her patterns, what I like about even her lace stuff is it's very, you get the rhythm of it. So you eventually don't have to look at the pattern. You just, oh, that's what it looks like. Oh, okay, so it's this, that's what we're doing this time.
Right.
So it's very rhythmic.
I apologize for the beeping. Davina has been on a kick where she forgets to turn off her timer for things, and she ignores it when it goes off. So I'm sorry if that's annoying you.
They shouldn't be able to hear it too much.
I can hear it. It's bugging me. The Bonnie Blue Bunny project from the Amigurumi Animal Toys pattern for baby pattern by the Pointel shop on Lovecrafts.
The Pointel Sisters?
Yeah. I made a little bit of progress on this. I think I'm doing decreases now. It just looks like a blob right now, but it's moving along. I don't know, this yarn I want to say came from Yarn Box. I think it's the same yarn I used for that turtle up there. It is. It's this yarn here. And ouch. So that's what I'm using for this. This is a nice yarn.
Too nice for toys?
Too nice for toys. Nothing's too nice for toys. There you go. So I'm going to finish this up. This is the contrasting color. I think it maybe goes in the ears or something. I'll have to see. And this is another yarn that's a nice yarn. It's got a little bit of a halo to it. I don't know if this is alpaca. I think this is alpaca, the stuff I made
Part
my
of the blend.
Yeah. So yeah, this is moving along. I should be able to finish this if I can just sit down and focus. I could finish this in the next couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Yeah, that's that. Okay, so you have one more?
Mm-hmm. So, in my Silver Shed USA Peanuts Christmas bag, I was having a day where I was super stressed. Sunday? I can't remember. One day I was just so super stressed I couldn't focus on anything. I was just freaking out about not having paperwork ready. I think it was Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
For surgery. I mean, it got taken care of yesterday, finally. But I was just freaking out about that, and I couldn't focus on anything. Nothing could distract me. I was just getting super worked up about it. And then I was like, you know what? I need to do a Dan. And Dan says he relaxes by doing color work because it distracts his mind. It's not racing. So I went ahead and I had the Yorkshire Tam, but I didn't want to work that. I had to start a Christmas stocking because Christmas stockings apparently are my go-to. I need to relax. I need to distract project. So I stole some of Mom's Knit Picks yarn, and I have a pattern.
We did a trade.
Yeah, this pattern is. Can't remember if this is. I think this is a Lovecrafts pattern. No, this one I didn't do trade for. I just stole this one. I gave you trade for something else.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This was just some Knit Picks.
That's right. That's right.
I'll probably give you back the yarn when I'm done with it. So we don't have the ball bands for it, but
I think this is grass.
yeah, this is grass. This one
This is
like
grass or pea pod.
and this other one is rust.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is grass or pea pod, and then the other one's rust.
So, oh, I guess I should tell you the pattern name. And let me see. Wrong area. Got distracted. This is, I'm calling it the De-Stressing Christmas Stocking. And it was on Sunday. No, it was on Saturday. Because that's the 7th. And the pattern is Christmas Stocking, Timeless Christmas by Pattern Duchess. So,
It's really pretty.
and, hold on. It's caught on itself. There we go. This will be coming with me to the hotel for the day before surgery. It'll probably still be in my bag for surgery, just because I anticipate at that point, the night before is probably when it's going to hit me that I'm having surgery the next day. I mean, I know it on a logical level, but on an emotional level. So I'll probably get nervous, and this will be a good distraction if I have trouble sleeping. But, well, look at that. That's so
Lovely,
nice.
pretty. It's popping nicely.
Yeah, I wanted a fun pattern. I'm kind of picky with my colorwork patterns. I've come to realize I think I like more of a Scandinavian style. Where it's got bold patterns and, it's just got a certain flair to it. That's what I've come to realize. Because when I looked I have a couple of colorwork chart books, and it just says Fair Isle, and one says Scandinavian. And I love all the ones in the traditional Scandinavian book. And some of the ones in Fair Isle are just too, they're not exciting enough for me. There's something about these. So, I think this is probably in the feel of that. I like traditional colorwork, I guess. So,
I'm going to catch your yarn here.
oh, thank you. So yeah, I'm trying not to work on this right now unless I absolutely have to, because I want to make sure I have a good section of it to be able to work on the night before.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. No FOs?
No, I thought I might have this one done, but I haven't yet.
Okay.
Obviously.
I have a frog. You saw in my bag that I started that. The yarn you might have recognized if you've been with us for a while. I was doing a mosaic shawl with it, and that was the project I was talking to you about. That the project's fine, beautiful, love it, but I don't know how to read the charts, and she had nothing written out. I could read the charts to a point, but when they got to the repeats, I didn't know where to repeat it from. So I pulled that all out, and I love the lady. It's Simone Carit.
Oh yeah.
She's wonderful.
She does the forest floor.
Yes, she's wonderful. I have a forest floor on my needles, but I called it the Medicine Man shawl. It's from the Spandrel shawl pattern by Simone Carit, and I will be doing it again as soon as I have more experience with reading a mosaic chart.
I was just trying to think of how many forest floors I've finished. I've finished 3. Let's see, hang on. I have a black and red. No, I finished 4, and I've got 2 more on the needles. So
it has nothing to do with the pattern and everything to do with the fact that I just need to get a little more experience for that. Speaking of experience for that, did you see George's new, 10 hours or less, George?
No, I have not.
He had a pattern. I'm not sure exactly what it was. I don't know if it was double knitting or color work or what it was. I think it was him. Anyway, I think...
Was it either him or Sockmatician?
Oh, Sockmatician. Yeah. Okay, first of all, George does have something new, and it is gorgeous, and I did love it. The one I was talking about was Sockmatician.
Okay.
Nathan. He had done... I'm not sure what he calls it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I said, oh, if I even had an idea of how to do that.
Let me see if I can find it while you're talking about it.
It's my level of knitting is beginner, advanced beginner knitting. Maybe a nod toward intermediate.
Because he does have some gorgeous
He has
designs.
this beautiful design. I think it's a shawl. I think.
Hold on, I'm trying to bring it up.
And
I think I know what you're talking about.
so I wrote to him. I said, "This is gorgeous."
This one?
Yes.
I'm not even sure what that is.
It might be a cowley. Then I don't know.
No. I mean, it's a stole. I think it's a stole, but I'm not sure what
It is. He asked what colors you. I said I would do blue and silver, royal blue and silver. But
I'm not sure if you guys can even see.
I said,
It doesn't do it justice.
I said if I don't have even a tenth of the experience need to do that. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, it looks like... Hold on, I'm trying to see.
I thought it was some kind of color work, but it looks like it has some brioche in it.
That's what I was going to say. It almost looks like brioche, which would kind of fit in the kind of things he tends to do.
He's a very complex knitter. I love his
There it
stuff.
is. Double knitted brioche. Double knitted
Oh
brioche.
my gosh. Nothing.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Nothing is too difficult for Mr. Nathan.
Oh my gosh.
He is extremely talented. Nathan, hats off to you. That is absolutely gorgeous.
Because I'm pretty sure that's the same shawl, just different view.
And and now I feel bad because I brought up George, but George does have also a very, very
I'll bring
nice
up George's
pattern.
in a second.
Yeah, it's kind of a waves pattern or something. It's kind of similar actually, in a
Let me
more
bring up
simplified way.
George's. But it's 10 hours or less. Oh, this is pretty.
Yes, it is. I really love it too. You can't really see it well. It's really pretty. I think is
not
it
sure.
a blanket?
It looks like it's a baby blanket, maybe, or just it might be just a normal blanket, not just a normal blanket, but
Absolutely gorgeous.
ooh, look at this pillow.
Yeah, he's had some really nice ones.
I don't
come
know
up.
that it's showing
So
up
if you're
very
looking
well.
for something a little more challenging, you might check out Nathan. And if you're looking for something that can be done in 10 hours or less, look up George because oh my gosh.
He's got some Alpine Adventure, like little
Leggings?
stocking. It looks like you knit the foot,
Oh,
and then you
gotcha.
have that. Now that almost looks like, oh no, it's crochet. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, that's crochet. It looks like.
That's not crochet down here.
No, you're right. That's knitted. Oh, maybe this is crochet. I thought at first it was. No, you're right. That's not. That's gar. That's pearl bumps. So
Yeah. So those two are amazingly talented and their stuff is awesome. If you're looking for a pattern to stretch your brain a little bit or to be done quickly, you might check either one of them out. They have amazing patterns.
oh yeah, definitely. I had
Okay.
to close their Instagram.
All right. So again, went to my frogged. No royalties for me. Any for you? Royalties?
I don't think so.
It's too close to Christmas to be thinking about buying things.
Plus surgery
Yeah.
next week.
We're buying her surgery, part of her surgery, for the moment.
Right.
Let's see here. Okay,
Then we go onto your yarn.
my Etsy shop. Thank you for the people who have expressed interest in the mystery yarn to help fund Talia's medical expenses. I'm excited that you're excited about that. I want to let you know that I've started dyeing a little bit of yarn for that, but because of all the things that we have to do for prep for surgery, I probably won't get into it really heavy until after the surgery. And then I'll start listing when I know I'll be home and I can start mailing things off in a
Right.
timely manner. So I do have a couple of skeins of yarn, I think. And then I have another skein of yarn that's just for the shop that's hanging out to dry. But I haven't done a lot of yarn dyeing because we've been in and out with trying to have medical appointments and to get her paperwork done and just things like that. So it's been a little bit hectic.
Yeah.
I hope to do that soon. I'm not sure how long the Mystery Along will be going, but I will.
Mystery long or mystery?
Yeah, the Mystery Yarn.
Yeah.
But it will be for a little while at least. I want to see if I can, help her as much as I can with, the generosity that you guys are. And the generosity that you are, I never say that anyone has to do anything or
No.
you have to feel obligated to do anything.
Because everyone has their own financial
Yeah.
concerns, all their they know what they can handle. If it's even something they feel called to.
Yeah, if you don't feel called to it, if you feel like all you want to do is prayers,
Not
or-
all you want to do.
No,
but-
no. In the strict sense of the
Yeah.
word for the sentence structure.
Yeah.
All you want to do, all you can do or all you want to do, and that, like you said, all
what you feel called to
what-
do.
or whatever you. You're messing me up now. If you. Okay, if you feel called only to. I say only to separate it from both or
Yeah.
one or the other, okay? You feel called to pray. One person feels called to buy the yarn. One person calls to do this, that, the other. Whatever you're called to do is what we'd be happy to have. Prayers, buying the mystery yarn, whatever it is. Because we know you guys care about what's happening. We know you guys are supportive of us, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Regardless of how you support us. And if you are interested in my mystery yarns, just keep your eyes open. They may be popping up a little at a time, or there may be some kind of a
Influx.
I don't know. It just depends. Surge. I don't know how they're going to go up. It just depends on how things pan out, and they will be, at least one or two of those updates. I think. I know I've had some requests for DK yarn, so I will be. I bought some DK yarn. It has arrived. if people want DK Sparkle, if they'd like to see that there, I won't. It is mystery, but if people like that base, and enough people like that base, I will pick up some more. But I need to have enough people who want that, because it's one of the suppliers who I have to buy a certain amount.
Right.
Okay, so I'm excited about that. This will be fun to see who gets what, and like I said, it will be, it could be solids, it could be semi-solids, tonals, variegated, pooling. Probably won't be stripes, although you might get some mini stripe swirl kinds of things with some of my yarn. It could be neutrals, it could be brights. I mean, it could be almost anything. Sparkle, non-sparkle. You will get to choose your base, but the colorways could be almost anything.
Right.
So, and not necessarily Christmas, just whatever kind of
it's a mystery.
happens. Okay. All right. So thank you very much for your interest, and thank you for your support. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
What are you reading?
I'm reading Spectre of the Future by Timothy Zahn. I finished something. Finished 33 Days to Morning Glory, and I'm reading A Radiant Dawn for Advent. A Radiant Dawn, Advent, and Christmas 2019. I'm not doing a whole lot of reading.
I've been doing a fair amount, so audiobook wise,
That's not reading, that's listening.
it still counts.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it does.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it does. So, Joy to the World
Even your daddy says it doesn't.
doesn't mean he's right.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
He is right. It's like a radio program or whatever. It's not reading. You're not
Anyway,
using
I
your
am
eyes.
reading
You are listening
Joy to the World
listening to Joy to the World.
via audiobook.
Uh-huh. Listening. Audio book.
Reading it.
Audio. Listening.
Anyway, you are technically correct,
Yes, I am.
but I am reading this. Joy to the
Full of
World.
malarkey.
Stop it. Hey, I'm having surgery soon.
It's not yet.
Don't damage
I get all my,
don't
all my
damage
flips
me.
in before you have to
Don't
recuperate.
damage. Don't damage.
Ugh.
Okay, so this is Joy to the World. How Christ's Coming Changed Everything and Still Does by Scott Hahn.
Mm-hmm.
Almost done with that. And then I've been reading, well, it's been a mixture of audiobooks and reading for Jane Austen. Over the weekend, I switched over to mainly reading because I rediscovered my skill of reading and knitting at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That was always something I was able to do as long as the knitting wasn't too complex. So I started that because I've been listening to Jane Austen. I listened to my favorite ones over and over again, and I realized I need to read some of the other ones, and they weren't necessarily something I had on audiobook already, because I have a lot of audiobooks that are on hold for when surgery, just in case I'm not feel like holding up something to read post surgery. But anyway, so I got my Kindle out and I finished reading Lady Susan by Jane Austen. It was her first short story. The character's a piece of work, and the story is written in letter form. So it's letters back and forth. It takes a couple seconds to get acclimated because, of course, they aren't going to introduce the characters really. You're hopping right in. So
You're reading their mail.
yeah. So it takes
you.
you a couple of letters to get acclimated to what's going on. But once you get hooked, you're really and truly hooked.
Boyer.
Then I was looking through books I wanted to download on my Kindle in case I wanted to read physical books, or read it if I didn't want to read a book versus listen to a book. In the hospital, I wanted to have a good supply, and I started looking through. Oh yeah, I like this book. Oh yeah, I love that book. So I started rereading Terry Brooks again. Starting again with Sword of Shannara.
Good book.
And I'm pretty well through the first book of the Sword of Shannara.
That's a quick read.
Oh, it is. It is. And you can really see the influences on Tolkien on him in that first book. And I'm excited because when I finish this book, I get to my one of my favorite ones. I like all the books of his that I've read, but my two favorites are the ones directly after this one. It's the Elfstones of Shannara and the Wish Song of Shannara. So Elfstones deals with the what is will to to Parr. He is his grandson. Because he's not... Because he's... That part of the problem is he's not fully half elf even. It's like... He's... It's even more removed that because Parr is only half elf. So... He was one... Because that's why it damaged him when he used the elf stones. But, so Will... So you have the family generation, so it's like 2 generations after the first book, and then a generation after in the second book when you deal with Will's kids.
They're good books, yep.
They really are. So I'm enjoying diving back into those again with some play knitting. Because this pattern is it's so potato chippy that I can work on it and enjoy an active book at the same time.
And I forgot to say that I have been listening to Sherlock Holmes. Not reading, listening to them.
You see,
Sherlock Holmes.
My whole brain is involved, all your ears are involved.
No, my whole imagination is involved with that. Okay, all right, now, I think we're going to go into, we really didn't have a lot knitting, crocheting this time around.
I knitted a lot.
I had 7 projects, but I feel like we kind of sped through everything.
I don't think we did any more than we normally do.
I think we're going to go into real life stuff now, unless you have something else you want to say.
Not that I can think of.
So we're going to go into real life stuff. Before we say goodbye to those who don't want to hear about real life stuff, I do want to remind you that it'll be probably 2 weeks on the outside 3. We're shooting for 2 weeks before we podcast again. So that Talia will have a chance to recuperate a little better. And, so I'll try to be on the board. I don't know how much Talia will be on the board, but I'll try to be on the board. There are a couple people that I will give updates to if I can't update you as well myself for the surgery stuff. But in the meantime, like I said, before we get into that kind of stuff, I want to just say it'll be 2 or 3 weeks, probably 2, but possibly 3 before we podcast again, and that's when we'll do the pulling for prizes. The beginning of the year alongs will start on time. Okay, so somebody will put the thread up for it, for the Ready, Set, Go, and for the charity along. There will be threads there.
I can't imagine that would be a problem because we'll be back from the hospital.
Well, I'm just giving them a heads up, okay? So just keep an eye out for those. We are hoping to be for the 1st of January, I think it is, we said, right? Because the next week is after your surgery is Christmas, and the week after that is January 1st.
Yeah.
So somewhere around there, we'll be we are slated to podcast. Okay. So before the people who don't want to hear about life stuff leave, I want to thank the people who commented on YouTube. We had Looney Hiker, Brittany, Sue, another Brittany, and Eileen. Thank you for commenting over there on YouTube.
We have Brittany and Brittany.
Yeah. And then we have the people who commented on PHN. I can't remember. I know I'm up to, or I was up to speed with all the comments. I'm just not sure if anybody had commented yet on the podcast.
On the thread. Not when I last looked.
So,
but I haven't been on there a lot.
Right. I finally got caught up with the last 1 or 2 that were on last week's podcast thread because I had answered and then people had answered me.
Oh, okay.
So I caught up with them, and if you've commented between the time we got onto podcast and the time we're podcasting, then and in the podcast, then I apologize for missing you, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. So thank you for your comments. We always like to hear from you. And if you don't want to hear about life stuff or surgery stuff or whatever, we'll see you in the next couple of weeks. We wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and Advent and all that kind of stuff. Have fun trimming your tree. We're going to do that this weekend. We got our nativity
out. Always called trimming your tree.
I don't know. I guess because you're kind of trimming around the edges. I don't know.
But you're not trimming.
No, there are 2 different kinds of trimming, though. Anyway,
but
so
why would that other be?
Anyway, stop it. You're going to derail me.
Why?
You already did. You derailed me. I hate when you do that. We are getting started with our holiday. I've got my nativity up and my banister decoration up, but we kind of like to keep it quiet during Advent and kind of do everything about a week before Christmas. We were going to put it up early for Taya's surgery, but then things got really busy, so we're going to still be putting it up this weekend. Tree's going to go up, all the stockings and everything like that. I haven't even begun to start my baking. I hope to do that pretty soon here. So hopefully I won't end up sticking my yarn in cookie dough or anything like that. So don't worry, I don't use the same pots or anything for the cooking and the yarn. It's completely separate. Everything's separate. Okay. All right. So moving on to what, the house, the shop, what I do.
Do we
shop.
have anything house? A house has all been done.
House has all been done.
Like there is no more
It's
house
all
news.
been done. People next door are moving out, and we're getting new neighbors, hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds horrible. Like he was bad.
Oh, he was fantastic.
He was fine.
We're gonna miss him because he was very sweet. He was confined to a chair, and we would come by at Christmas with our cookies, and he looked forward to him every year. And so he's not going to be here for that this year. He left around Thanksgiving. So
You said that he already mentioned that he was going to miss that.
yeah. So I hope he's having a good time settling in, and wherever he's settling. But hopefully we'll have some new neighbors soon. There've already been people look at the house, so that's good. But going into hospital news.
So I'm not sure. I think we mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but I was originally slated for November 17th at 12:30. We just got a call for surgery. We just got a call that says that they're going to have to move it to November 18th. They're going to call me back with a time. They haven't done so yet, so I'm going to call as soon as we get done with the podcast, just so we know when to leave. It's just a day later. I'm okay with that. The only problem is hotel rooms. But someone had to urgently, they need to have the surgery done quicker, like
now.
Yeah. So people are being moved around. And unfortunately, I end up being one of those people, but I'm not going to whine and complain. I would hope that I could be gotten in emergently if I was needed to.
You have to explain what emergent means.
I think that kind of speaks for itself.
Well, I mean, emergent, it depends. You got emerge from something.
It needs to be done stat.
Okay. That's not necessarily
Well, not stat, but, as stat as it can be. Soon as possible, get the person in. Because it can become a state of emergency. Emergent.
Okay. So that's, so we were supposed to get her set up on Monday, so now we're waiting to see when we have to bring her in. See how it affects our hotel rooms and things like that. It's all good. We'll figure it out.
We're actually not.
We're not.
At least I'm not terribly stressed right now, because once we got all the paperwork, we were, up until yesterday, we didn't have the approval from the primary care because they would not give approval till cardiology did. And I had to rush to get a cardiology appointment a week before the surgery. I was blessed that
Which
they
was
got
Wednesday.
me in. Yeah, I was blessed that they got me in, and as soon it took till Thursday. It took on Thursday. Primary care signed off on it, and so after that was taken care of, I feel like such a weight has been taken off.
And we know that your prayers have a lot to do with that. So your prayers and good wishes and good thoughts and things. So we appreciate that. Now is pretty much all we can do is until we get the room set up is fixed, and the exact time we've done all we can do, and we can just get her prepared, get her packed, and
I'm basically packed except for a few the last minute things. So
yeah. Okay, so anything else? I know I'm going to think of 2 or 3 things when we get off of here, but I think that's about it, isn't it?
yeah, I think so.
So keep your eyes open for the new threads for the Ready Set Go and the Charity Along. We will let you know about the co-hosts. I need to touch base with her one more time and make sure everything's all in a row. Can I say you guys are doing it? And she was very excited about it and didn't see why they wouldn't be able to do it. So hopefully I'll be able to put the name down, and that'll be cool because I think you'll be really excited about it.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They make me giggle all the time. And then I forgot what I was going to say. Keep your eyes open on the Lady Fernicle Creations thread for the updates for the mystery or on Instagram, Facebook. I'm going to be posting places. I'm not really good about that, but I will do my best to be better at that for this, okay? Okay, so we want to wish you all a very wonderful remains of Advent and a blessed Christmas. If you celebrate Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate, we wish you a blessed holiday and a happy new year as well. And we hope to see you back here for the Fun in the Woman Cave in about 2 or 3 weeks. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 382, and that's a wrap.
Bye.